On the next episode of American Greed, tonight, the story of online begging, modern dating, and the rising demand on men to pick up an ever-increasing bill. Since the dawn of recorded history, begging has always existed. Whenever cities flourish, so too does income inequality, and where wealth gathers, desperation is never far behind.
I've been sitting here for an hour and 50 minutes trying to raise money because I am homeless at rock bottom. It is not pre-recorded. And if I get to your comment talking about it being pre-recorded, you will be blocked and you won't be able to laugh and sit and laugh at my live anymore.
Many young men and women have turned to the internet for more than memes, vacation inspiration, and trendy dances. They're here for money.
I don't want no fucking gifts! Help with money! Money, 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 that's what I'm asking for!
Hey y'all, just on here trying to get some, raise some money so I can get me and my kids something to eat and pay my rent.
YouTuber, real estate investor, and author Eze has studied the phenomena of begging and its evolution to online spaces.
There's two things we have to consider here when we're talking about begging. It went through an iteration. There's different iterations of most things, but in terms of begging, there was a substantial change that came with, well, like most things, social media. My generation, when you begged, at least amongst men, it meant that you yourself failed in something. There was shame attached to the begging. It was an admittance that I could not do what needed to be done. Therefore, I'm coming to you. And moreover, and more importantly, it was an admission that I have exhausted all of my resources. I have turned over everything I could. I have dug in every single sofa. I've emptied all the accounts. There's nothing that I could do. Therefore, I am coming to you in admission that I have failed in some sort of way and I need your help. You came to someone with hat in hand. That's why that expression existed. Well, today, the iteration is different as the generations changed, as social media became prevalent. Now, when you beg, there's an anonymity to it. Even though your face is there, these people don't know you. They don't have any type of jurisdiction in your life. Any type of comment that they make can easily be swept away as just another thing that happens on the internet. So there's no more shame attached to the beg. There's no admission of I could not do it. I did not make it on my own. And you don't have to talk to anyone about it. You don't have to face this scrutiny for the choices you made. It lets you off the hook with maximal efficiency. You can beg to more people in a minute than you could have done in a month in my generation.
And with that added efficiency came entitlement.
I have no money. So what I'ma do? I'ma beg. I'ma be an open mouth because a closed mouth don't get fed. What the fuck? That's a real saying. A closed mouth do not get fed. So I'ma open my mouth for what I want. I want some food. I'm hungry. I want some spaghetti from the Italian restaurant. I gotta be at work at 12:30. It's currently 11:17. I have more than enough time to get this money to get something to eat. So with that being said, y'all gonna help me or what? Yes, I'm always begging because I'm poor. Like, I'm literally poor, and I'm not ashamed to let the world know that I'm poor. Like, I'm never ashamed to let nobody know what I'm going through. Like, I'm homeless as fuck right now. Like, I don't have nowhere to go. Like, literally, I'm homeless. Like, this is real. I'm homeless. I don't have no money. I only got a car. Thank you, Lord. I don't have, can someone Apple Pay me $15, please? Or can everybody send me $1? I got 100 people on my live stream. Can one person send me $1 or $15? Yes.
Begging took on a new form. No longer whispered between close relatives and confidants, begging took to the ears of strangers and their wallets.
And I was telling him, well, instead of taking me on a date, the same money that you gonna use towards the date, you can help me buy my part for my car. My car is still drivable, but I need like a crankshaft or a camshaft, and it's like $200. And I was like, well, whatever money that you was gonna use towards the date, you can help me put the money towards buying the part.
Gentlemen, if y'all girl came to y'all and asked y'all for $3K and y'all refused to give it to her, you hate her. You don't like her at all. You don't respect her. Because why you can't give her no money?
As the focus shifted towards money and away from the individual ability to earn it, the landscape began to rapidly change.
The British girlies are begging for money. The American girlies are begging for money. Everybody's begging for money. Like, there isn't a woman out here that's not begging for money. And I'm not saying all women. But there is a large portion of women out in this world, the whole earth, that beg men for money.
But it's not just begging men. Eze believes there was a critical change.
What we tend to forget to take into consideration is pride. I believe that's one of the many factors that is missing in our generation. And it's not that pride is simply gone, it's simply vanished, that the ego has been suppressed, the ego has been mastered. No, it is simply shifted. Once upon a time, there was pride in your station. There was pride in the ability to start with nothing and to work your way up into a place where you could completely support a family. You could send your kids to school. You could have the car or two. You can keep your wife at home. But like many things that are outside of control, the economy changed. Inflation happened. Record inflation happened. We were doing so well that we forgot that we were supposed to do well together. That left a gap. So there are those that have not made it, but still look to those that have. They look at their lifestyle. They look at the way they move. They look at the way they dress. They look at where they vacation. They look at where they go to school. And in place of that ability to bridge that gap, entitlement has snuck in. You are supposed to help me do this. Now, again, when social media became the rule of law and the ability to reach multiple people at the same time, it became easier to pull at heartstrings. It became easier to say, it's only $1. It's only $5 from you. You have so much. If you give to me, then I too can have something. But what we forget is that it's not as if these things don't bleed into each other. So we get from simply saying, I need a little bit to make ends meet. I need to pay the gas, the electricity. Now it's seeped into our day-to-day activities. More importantly, it's seeped into the way we date today. There is a growing expectation that a man is supposed to fulfill the duties of old. He's supposed to be the providers from a bygone era where it was easier to provide. Now today, upon meeting a woman in the first minutes of meeting her, you're supposed to provide enough to pay for a month's worth of expenses.
And you cannot call yourself a man if you do not pay for everything. Yes, you're going to pay for her nails. Yes, you're going to pay for her to eat. Yes, you're going to pay for the chips. Yes, you're going to pay for whatever she wants. How are you going to call yourself a man if you cannot provide for your woman? And the men that don't like to hear that are not men. I don't know what you want me to say. How can you be masculine if you are not providing? It is not just about paying for dates. It's not just about paying for food. It's about paying for everything.
And despite the noise of a changing economy and the new language used to justify old demands, one truth remains. A man is under no obligation to pick up the tab for a woman who is not his wife. Anything beyond that is his choice, not her entitlement.